This is the third demo in a series of 3 that shows how OpenText technology can be used to unleash the power of information. Each video describes a high-level information flow that's common to every organization, and in this demo, we'll look at capture to archive. Our third information flow deals with information governance and the management of content from capture through to archive. Once again, the flow can be broken down into 5 simple steps: capture, classify, manage, discover, and then archive. The story continues as Innovate is asked to provide information to support a legal investigation into Innovate's shipping company, Expedite. Innovate uses OpenText records management to classify all of its business records to support investigations of this nature and as part of a defensible disposition policy. Now let me show you how Innovate uses OpenText ECM to capture and classify content for records management. A new folder has been created by one of Innovate's legal team to capture data relating to the investigation. The folder is based on a template, which is comprised of required metadata and subfolders for content. Now let's switch to Outlook. Our user has received a number of emails relating to the investigation. It's a snap to add these to the matter folder. He simply drags and drops the emails onto the right folder, right from the Outlook interface, just like so. He can also add record classifications to the messages, or as we'll see later, he could have just let the system automatically classify the emails. In our case, we're going to add a legal file number to each of the email messages. This is the one we'll choose. The uploaded messages can still be accessed and viewed from the Outlook user interface. Now back in the content repository, a records manager can quickly find all of the records for a given classification using faceted browsing, searching for the file number, as we chose LEGCL. And then we can further filter the results by type, author, or different kinds of metadata. OpenText auto classifications ensures that all Innovate records, including web pages, emails, paper documents, and Office documents, are properly classified. So let's see how auto classification works. First, we're going to select a collection of incoming content for processing. Okay, now we're going to ask the system to classify the content in the collection. You can see the system running and the content being analyzed. Once it's all done, we can analyze the results. And for most of the results, the system can determine the right classification to add. But for some records, the system needs a little help. These results shown in yellow indicate that the tool has made a judgment call on the classification, but seeks confirmation from a human operator. By teaching the system how to make these calls, it can better classify future content. The legal investigation relates to Innovate's shipping agent called Expedite. Innovate has received a number of complaints about damaged shipments in the care of Expedite, and for the legal case has been asked to provide all information relating to those cases. Innovate's compliance officer first creates a legal hold to preserve all information that might relate to the case. To create the hold, she simply chooses to add a new hold and then completes the required fields in the form. Search-enabled holds use OpenText Content Server's built-in search capabilities to establish the criteria for holding a business record. Once a search-enabled hold is in place, any newly added content that meets the hold criteria will also be managed. So let's see how the compliance officer sets up a search-enabled hold for the Expedite investigation. From the function menu, she chooses the option to select the hold criteria. And from here, she sets up the search query for the hold. The query may include full-text search, system-defined or custom metadata, or classification fields, but in our case, it's just a simple list of required keywords. To finish, she simply saves the query for the hold. The search query will find and hold all of the records relating to the case. Innovate's compliance officer can now prepare to export the content as evidence to support the legal investigation. To prepare the export, she simply selects the command to export the whole contents. She can choose to export all document versions or just the most current version. The system does its magic as a background task. So let's jump ahead in time. And here you'll see that the task is complete. All of Innovate's business information is securely retained within the OpenText Enterprise Archive, where it is deduplicated, compressed, and stored according to Innovate's retention policies. Innovate's IT department configures OpenText Content Server to automatically archive content from the repository. As part of the setup process, Innovate's system administrator defines a number of different storage providers, including fast SATA storage for rapid access to content and less expansive tape backups for content that is only needed once in a while. He then defines the rules that will determine where each type of content is stored. In this case, he's created a new rule to store any closed legal cases onto the compliance data archive. The rule is triggered whenever content is classified with the legcl file number. Now if you look at the content rule jobs, you'll see that it's set an archiving job to run at 2:20 p.m. on every Thursday. When the process runs, a complete audit is created that the system administrator can examine at will. OpenText Enterprise Archive systems can be configured to use any type of data storage, even cloud, so Innovate can choose the right storage solution for their needs without being tied to a single vendor. And to optimize storage and security, the system can also be configured to automatically encrypt and deduplicate the archive. In this, our third and final information flow, you saw how Innovate captured important business records, how they used auto-classification to prepare records for archiving and disposition. You saw how a compliance officer could use the system to discover and hold records relating to a legal investigation. And finally, how Innovate uses OpenText archiving technology for cost-effective long-term storage of their records. To discover how OpenText could help your organization to govern the power of information, visit our website at www.opentext.com/ECM. Hey, don't forget to watch the other demos in the series to see how Innovate's marketing team creates a web experience to launch their new product from create to consume, and how Innovate's customer services department deals with customer complaints from issue to resolution.